what happened this weekend. And I'm not talking about the weather, although the weather outside was frightful. I'm not going to lie to you on that. It's crazy shit going across the country. Oh, my Lord, it was crazy. But Minneapolis, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. My sources told me that Trump was pissed at the shooting this weekend. My sources say that he was apoplectic because there is how should I say this? There is a look. And that look is not one that's going to get you into a position that's going to get you reelected. You've got the high ground when it comes to illegal immigration and wanting to send people back that are here illegally. You've got the high ground. You were given the opportunity and somewhat of a mandate to fix this. What people don't want to see is Americans dying on the street. What people don't want to see is some sort of tussle like we saw that ended up in the death of an American, and then the twisting of words to make it seem like dude was about ready to go off and start obliterating people at any moment and lying to our faces. And that's what we got this weekend in the shooting in Minneapolis. So what took place? First of all, can we just be honest about the left? Okay? The insanity of the way that some of these protests have gone is ridiculous. The chaos that has been created at times is ridiculous. The bizarre situation where the feds and the states, like the local, will not work together is once again fucking ridiculous. I mean, we talk about all of those things. But I only want to focus on what took place at that moment in time. I'm not going to play the video of a human being getting snuffed out. Sorry, I'm not going to do it. And this is not an FAFO, right, as I've heard and been sent to me on 50 occasions through text messages, through listeners, and through people like, oh, that guy got what he deserved. No, he didn't. Kash Patel and these Muppets running around going, let me tell you guys something. You shouldn't be bringing a gun. Yeah, you have every right. You have every right. You have a Second Amendment, right? You have a constitutional right to carry a gun. Well, it was a protest. I don't give a rat's ass. You have every right to carry a gun. It was a protest. He's a citizen. He has a right to protest. He has a right to carry a gun. So don't give me the FAFO bullshit. I'm not going to buy into it. So Alex Preddy, he was 37, worked for the Veterans Affairs. He was an ICU nurse, was out there. And there's the argument of what happened with Renee Good, a different argument, one that maybe is a little bit more gray. This one's hard to be gray. And what even makes it worse is the way they come out, and the defense is he's a terrorist. He's an absolute domestic terrorist. He was out there brandishing his gun.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual.
First of all, stop you there, Immigration Barbie. No. He had a gun. He had a concealed carry. He didn't approach them with the gun out. He had a phone. That's what he had. Okay? So this isn't making the sense that you want it to make, because we have the eyeballs. We can see.
But the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid.
So that's where she goes with this whole thing, right? Then you've got Bovino here, who wants to cast him, it's different from day to day, right? Yesterday compared to Saturday. Oh, yeah. Yesterday, it's like, well, we need to figure it out. We need to have a conversation about this. But originally it was, dude came out, he was ready to just start just pumping away. I mean, he was moments away.
Again, the investigation is going to uncover all those facts, things like how many shots were fired, where were the weapons located. All those facts are going to come out in the investigation. I wasn't there wrestling that assaultive subject that was assaulting Border Patrol agents. I wasn't there wrestling him myself, so I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to wait for that investigation to come. No, don't interrupt me. I'm going to wait till that investigation comes out until I make a decision there. During this operation, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted.
No. Everybody can see that. And then Dropsite News got another angle, and you can tell that none of that is anything that happened. It isn't. And I'm not trying to say this is more as much about the bullshit that's being fed to us as what took place. Look, you can tell that he went over to help a woman that was on the ground and who had been sprayed with the pepper spray. And that's when they got into it. And there were several on top of him. And then they were at times treating him like a piñata. And he was resisting and he was screaming, they're going to kill me. They're going to do this, put your phones down, stop filming and help me. And you can see that somebody had taken the gun, by all accounts, unless we're going to find yet another angle of this. And then a guy has a gun and Border Patrol agent, not an ICE agent as we've seen, fire, and away it goes. Now, there's chaos going on. There's screaming going on. There's a bunch of hands fighting with each other. There's, again, I'm not here to say it was this guy woke up and said he wanted to do this. What I am saying, though, is the bullshit afterwards of deeming this guy a domestic terrorist when he has nothing that says that. Well, he's against ICE. So what? It's the beauty of our country. You can be against ICE. You can be against the president. You can be against the Democrats. You can be against tall people. Doesn't matter. Okay? He has every right to carry a gun. He didn't brandish it, and that's the word that's going to be used a lot. The way they make it seem is like, because brandishing a weapon at a peace officer or law enforcement officer is a crime. And that didn't happen. And anybody who's carried a gun before knows that having a couple, magazines is not something that is like, oh my God, I've never heard about that before. The interesting thing in all of this is watching people do he deserved it. He brought that to a protest. He's an American. He's a law-abiding citizen. He has every right to bring it to a protest. Well, he was getting ready to do something. Oh, do you know that? So when I go into a store here, whether it's Walmart or Costco, I know at least a quarter of the people in there are probably carrying. Are they getting ready at any moment in time to pop off and do something? No. Trump's pissed because the look is bad. That's why he sent Tom Homan in. He's looking around going, Bovino, right? Frickin' Kristi Noem, this isn't going the way that we thought. He said he wants to have an investigation. He understands that while he has got people were over illegal immigration. That's one of the big reasons he regained the White House, among other things, is his stance on illegal immigration. And he fixed the border immediately. He did the things that he needed to do. And all that being said is, yeah, there's a battle going on when it comes to people here illegally. Didn't it come to find out the guy that they said they were after as they were trying to serve and go after this guy, he may not even have been there because now you're starting to think, well, I heard he was released a few years ago under Trump and that he wasn't even in custody of the, any place in Minnesota. I mean, there's all this confusion around it. And it's frustrating. It is. Because we have a conversation in this country of you've got supposedly the right, the conservatives talking about, well, you shouldn't have a gun and protesting the way he did and all of that. It's like, wait a minute. Are you for the free speech? Are you for the Second Amendment? Because you can do those things. If this was a no-gun zone and the city of Minneapolis says you cannot, and they've passed laws and stuff, and okay. Then have that conversation, but that's not it. And Trump is recognizing that while they had a upper hand, if you will, as far as the position when it comes to immigration, that's fading away fast. It is. It's fading away rather fast because people don't want to see people dying on the streets. They don't. And this isn't going to go away. And this may be one of those times you mark it on the calendar and go, when did things turn, right? You go back to Biden, Afghanistan, the airport, changed everything that day. The pullout changed everything. Biden never got anywhere close to those numbers prior to that. Now, eventually they were all going to crash anyways because of, how insane that the media covered up for Biden and everybody knew how bad he was. But the reality is this, I think you can mark this down as a pivotal moment because there's no doubt that this guy's death has angered a lot of Republicans who are upset, a lot of gun rights activists who are upset, a lot of people like Rand Paul and several others saying, we need Noam and Bovino here. We need to talk to these people. We want to have them under oath and have conversations because this right here is not what people signed up for. Some people, if you voted to see Americans exercise their First and Second Amendment and then die, what the hell are you doing? I don't think so. I don't. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see how this plays out. I know Trump talked to Walz today, and I think they've got a idea that cooler, calmer heads prevail. And because Trump, here's the thing, he looks around and reads the room and goes, oh yeah, this isn't working the way I thought it was going to work. Right? We need to figure this out because this is going to go sideways, and it's not going to be good. It's not, and this is going to cost me. And when you're already worried about what things may cost you, especially with the midterms coming up, and now you've energized the left to want to make sure that there's another shutdown potentially, overfunding for DHS. He gets it. Doesn't mean it's going to go right, but I will tell you that I think he saw that, yeah, you know what, there needs to be cooler, calmer heads. And the rhetoric, like I said, I'm not here to defend the way that the activists act at times. I'm not here to defend a lot of the chaos that goes on. I'm not here to defend the insanity of sanctuary cities, which we can get into all day long. But this right here was not a helper. And the mandate that you have is slipping away based on actions by what seems to be at times unprepared individuals who should not be in this situation. Let me know what you think. You can tweet at me, at Chad Benson Show. Like and subscribe here. We appreciate it when you guys do that. It really helps us out. Share this with your friends. Check out the radio show, chadbensonshow.com. You can go there, find out where I'm playing in your neck of the woods, 6 a.m. Pacific to 9 to noon on the East Coast. We'll be back tomorrow with a couple more videos as we get, we're climbing out of the frozen weather. Man, it was cold here. It's cold. Still is. Took my dogs down yesterday. Early this morning to go to the bathroom in the dog park. They took one look at me peed outside the dog park, and then they just turned around and they ran back up the stairs. They wanted no part of it. But we'll have some more videos and stuff coming the next couple days as we dig out of all of this mess. You guys be safe out there. And again, follow along, like, subscribe. Appreciate that.